So welcome back to the Happiness series and to day 3 of part 2. Now, yesterday I was talking about this idea of just simply providing the conditions for compassion to naturally arise. But there is in some ways a certain amount of discrimination that needs to be applied to the quality of compassion. By that I don't mean discriminating between one person and another. Hopefully, in time, we're working towards a place where our ability to experience empathy is equal for everybody around us, those people who are really close to us, people we care about, and also the people who we may have never even met before, or even more challenging, people who necessarily haven't been very compassionate towards us. But of course, there is a place for being discriminating in our compassion. By that I mean, if somebody's being unpleasant towards us, if somebody's being violent towards us, if somebody's abusing us in some way, then there is nothing compassionate in providing the conditions to allow that person to continue. So this is quite often misunderstood, I think, around the idea of compassion. Often people think that they perhaps align compassion with the ordinary sense of acceptance and just allowing everything to happen and it's okay and excusing others. And, well, it's not always okay, is the truth. Sometimes it's absolutely inappropriate for people to behave in a certain way. So, obviously, we have to find a skillful way to work with that. So when we're talking about compassion, we're looking at how do we provide the grounds and the condition to experience that innate sense of compassion in ourselves for the benefit of others. And it's important that when we look at that relationship for the benefit of others, that it's genuinely helping others move towards a place of happiness. And of course, if they're behaving in a way which doesn't provide those conditions, then we probably need to either change the situation or look at removing ourselves from that situation. So that's a really important part of compassion, which shouldn't be sort of ignored in any way. But right now, if you'd like to just take a moment to get comfortable in the chair, on the floor, however you're sat today. And when you're ready, with the eyes open, just taking some nice big deep breaths. And with the next out breath, just gently closing the eyes and just settling into the physical senses, settling into the space around you. So as you just start to become a bit more aware of the body now, just checking in with the physical senses, checking in with the emotional tone of mind, just scanning down through the body in your own time. So as you consider your intention right now, remembering to bring a fresh perspective to that, making sure it's about today, that it hasn't just become routine again, making sure that you're clear of which people actually benefit from this greater sense of compassion within yourself, and just bringing those faces to mind. And now just allowing the attention to drift down onto the breath, wherever you feel it most clearly, and just staying with that rising and falling sensation now, just for the next couple of minutes. And when you're ready, still following that movement of the breath, just bringing to mind a pinprick of light. And in your own time, just watching as it begins to expand outwards in every direction. Still aware of the breath, but also aware of this wave of compassion that just seems to sort of melt away any difficulty that anybody has. It's as though they're just left completely free from any struggle of any kind. And you just watch as that goes out in every single direction, again as wide as the mind can imagine. And now, having followed that visualization to its conclusion, just letting go of any focus. And just for 30 seconds or so, just allowing the mind to be completely free. And now just bringing the attention back to the body, back to that feeling of weight in the body. Starting to notice sounds again. As you just gently open the eyes, just taking a moment to appreciate how that feels, having taken a bit of time out for yourself, but also in doing so, taking a bit of time out for others as well. The idea of the meditation getting a bit bigger now in many ways. And as always, just making that intention to be aware throughout the day and to look for those opportunities to relieve people's difficulty in some way. Again, we're not talking about big grand gestures. It might be just the willingness to listen to something somebody has to say. Just do something very small. But when you've done that, when you've made that intention, just sitting back in the chair once again. So just to pick up on that point that we were talking about at the very beginning of the exercise today, just ensuring that without too much analysis, it's always tempting, that the empathy or compassion that we experience is not only for our own benefit, but that it's for the benefit of the other person as well, or the other people as well. So that we don't just allow people to act in a way which is hurtful or harmful in the name of compassion. So easy to do this. So, on the one hand, we're not trying to think too much about it. We're not trying to identify too much with the thoughts. We're simply noticing the feeling that arises. At the same time, in a broader perspective, we are taking the time before and after to reflect upon what's helpful in a certain situation, when it's appropriate to ask somebody else to change their behavior, and when it's appropriate perhaps to remove ourselves from a situation. So just a couple more things to consider, to reflect upon as you go through the day today. But I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 4 of part 2.